Hello everyone, welcome to Kenny's Educare, a group of Kenny Solutions. Today we will be starting with lesson number 1, which is natural resources, air, water and land. Okay, so what do you mean by the term natural resource? See, you might be aware of the term nature, right? It is there naturally, it is present naturally, and the things or the resource that we have made, that is called as man-made resource. Okay, so here if you see, three words are written. One is air, water and land. So men have made these resources, or it has been available for us naturally. So it is available for us naturally, right? And that is why it is called as natural resource. And you will be studying in this lesson air, water and land. Okay, so let's start. Now can you just observe the picture this side and answer me these questions? See, in this picture there are some spheres of the earth. One is atmosphere. Atmosphere includes air, right? Then second is hydrosphere. Hydro means water. Okay, so second one is hydrosphere, and third one is lithosphere, which means land. Okay, so you can say the spheres of the earth, it contains three spheres. One is atmosphere, which includes air. Second is hydrosphere, which includes water. And third one is lithosphere, which includes land. So these are the three natural resources. Okay, so just try to answer this first question. Where do we see the birds? Now, according to the spheres of the earth, we see the birds in the atmosphere, means in the air, right, in the sky. And where is the cow grazing? What do you think? Where is the cow grazing? It is grazing near the hydrosphere, or it is a land, so you can call it as lithosphere also, right? Then can you locate the trees and the roads? Is there the tree? This is the tree, and if you can see here, back side you can see a small car. So you can locate, right, the cow, the trees and the road, right? And there is a plane also here, which is there in the atmosphere, right? So where does the river come from and how does it flow? What do you think? From where does the river is coming? See, if you can see the picture clearly, the river or the water, it is coming from the mountains, right? So this river is coming from different mountains. Okay, and how it is flowing? Now can you tell me how does this river flow? See, when rainfall occurs, that time what happens? Where does this rainwater goes? See, some amount of water, it goes and seeps into the ground. And you might have seen groundwater. You have seen well. Villages may we have seen well, right? There is well, then hand pump. They seep the water from the ground and you get it, right? So where does the groundwater comes from? When it rains, some amount of the water, it gets and seeps into the ground, and through which we get this hand pump and well. Okay, and secondly what happens? This goes into the river, and from it goes to the mountain, and from mountain it flows down little by little, and then a river is formed. This is how the river is formed. And when rain falls, that time also river gets some amount of water, right? Already existing river will get water, and if river is not there, it will get formed, right? So this is how rivers flow and how they are formed. Okay, now where is the aeroplane? Can you see the aeroplane in this picture? I'll zoom it. See, here is the aeroplane, right? So in which sphere are you seeing the aeroplane? It is in the atmosphere, right? So aeroplane is in the atmosphere. And where are the fish seen? Can you see the fish? See, the fish is in water. So you will not tell ki it is in water. You will tell it is in the hydrosphere, because hydrosphere means water only, right? So, and because you are learning about the spheres of the earth, so you will write here ki it is the hydrosphere where the fishes are seen. Okay, and what is the sailboat? On what is the sailboat floating? The sailboat is floating on the hydrosphere only, right? It is in the water. So you will write the sailboat is floating on the hydrosphere. Okay. Now see, air, water and land, they are the important factors for sustaining the living world on the earth and for fulfilling their basic needs, and these are called as natural resources. See, without air you can't survive, without water you can't survive, without land also you can't survive. So these are the basic things which the nature has provided us, and because of which we are fulfilling everything, we are getting all the needs, we are getting completed with all the basic needs which we need, right? So air, water and land, without these three things you can't survive, and these are provided by this natural resources. Okay, and these are called as natural resources. Okay, now see, you can see that some things in the picture are in water, some on land and some in the sky, that is in the air, right? We have seen here the aeroplane is in the air, the boat is in water, the cow is on land, right? So there are various things which are there on land, then water and air. Thus, this all things on the earth, they are associated with air, water and land, right? These are the only things which you can see and which are present, right? So air, water and land, they are the earth's atmosphere. Air is called as earth's atmosphere, water is called as earth's hydrosphere, and land is called as earth's lithosphere. Okay, and moreover different living things occupy these three spheres of the earth, right? अभी land के ऊपर भी human beings and animals, plants, they are surviving, right? In water also different animals are there which lives, then like fish हो गया, octopus हो गया. So there are various animals and plants which are there in the water, and there are various animals which fly in the air. So there are different living things and living organisms which are surviving on these three spheres of the earth. Okay, and this living things and the parts of the lithosphere means land, hydrosphere means water, and the atmosphere which means air, they are together called as biosphere. So when you include all the three spheres, which includes lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, these three spheres together are called as biosphere. Okay, got it? And these spheres, they have been formed on earth naturally. These are not made by man, and that is the reason it is called as natural, because this we haven't made, this was present naturally. Okay, and we have learned all this in the previous standard, right? Now see, the atmosphere is the layer of the air that surrounds the earth. See, this is the earth. The earth will have a layer of air, okay, and that layer of air, it will be called as atmosphere. The surface of the earth comprises water and the land. The surface of the earth will contain water and land, right? See, the blue part which you see in the globe is the water, and the green part is the land. Okay, so the earth will comprise water and land, and that is, water is hydrosphere and land is lithosphere, right? And of this, the hydrosphere occupies a much larger part than the lithosphere. When you see a globe, you will see hydrosphere means water ka concentration will be more and land will be less. Okay, now figure 1.2 shows the proportion of land and water on the earth's surface. So this is how this is the proportion of how much water is present on the earth. 70% water is present and 29% of land is present. Okay, and we also look upon this natural components in solid, liquid and gaseous form as resources. Okay, so there are three natural components. One is solid, second is liquid, and the third one is gaseous. Okay, in other words, we use them to fulfill our requirements. And now let us study all these three components in detail. Which three components? Solid, liquid and gases. Okay, see, can you recall what are the 5 layers of the atmosphere? See the 5 layers, you can say mesosphere, ionosphere, troposphere. There are 2 more. Can you remember? Next is thermosphere, then stratosphere, and one is exosphere. Okay, so these are the 5 layers of the atmosphere. Now see, first one you will be studying about is air, which is also called as atmosphere, right? So the air in the atmosphere around the earth will contain nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 inert gases, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particle. Okay, so the air will contain all these things, which are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 inert gases, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles. The troposphere, it contains about 80% of the total mass of gases in the air. Okay, there are 5 layers of atmosphere. To consider, troposphere is the first sphere. So it will contain 80% of the total gas which is present in the air. Okay, while this proportion is about 19% in the stratosphere. The troposphere will contain 80% of the total gas. Stratosphere will contain 19% of the total gas, and further in mesosphere and ionosphere the proportion of the masses of gas goes on decreasing. Okay, so troposphere will have the maximum percentage of the gas. Okay, and these gases, they are not found in the exosphere and beyond. So the gases will only be present in troposphere, okay, then stratosphere, mesosphere, and ionosphere. And troposphere will contain the maximum percentage of gas, while exosphere will not contain any gas. Okay, now you can see that air is a mixture of several gases, right? We saw oxygen, nitrogen, and then 6 inert gases, carbon dioxide, right? So it is a mixture of several gases and is the chief constituent of the earth atmosphere. Okay, these gases are the main constituent. Okay, so the air is made up of these gases only, and beside these gases air also contain water vapor and dust particles. Okay, and the amount of gases in the air is the greatest near the surface. So when you will see the surface of the earth, the air, it will contain more amount of gases, and it decreases when you go higher and higher from the surface. Okay, so surface के ऊपर सबसे ज़्यादा amount of gases present होगा air में, and जैसे जैसे आप deep जाओगे earth के अंदर, it will not contain that amount of gas which is present near the surface, and that is air becomes rarer at higher altitude. So when you go at the top of the mountain, very top of the mountain, वहाँ पे you will feel like you are unable to take oxygen, means you are unable to inhale, because at the top the concentration of the air is lower. Okay, and the proportion of the constituent of the air and some of their uses, they are given here. So this is the proportion or the gases which are present in the air and what are the uses, it has been mentioned here. Okay, so let's study. First one is nitrogen. Now nitrogen, it helps living things to build the necessary protein, and it is useful in production of ammonia and airtight packing of the food stuff. Now have you eaten Lays? You might have seen Lays जो होता है उसके अंदर सिर्फ एयर ही भरा होता है, and it just contains 5 maximum to maximum 10 to 12 pieces, right? उसके अंदर जो air present होता है, it is the nitrogen gas. It is a nitrogen gas which is present in the packet. Okay, then when it comes to plant, how nitrogen is important to plant? See, nitrogen cannot use the atmospheric nitrogen which is available. Okay, they have to convert that nitrogen into ammonia, and then only it can be used up by the plant. So it is useful in the production of ammonia. Got it? Then it is useful in packing of the Lays packet, and it is also useful for making some necessary protein in your body. Okay, now oxygen, we all know without oxygen we can't survive, and जो combustion होता है fuel का, that also takes place with the help of oxygen only, right? Then carbon dioxide, Now plant uses photosynthesis to prepare their own food, right? So plants need this carbon dioxide for producing their food, and it is also used in fire extinguisher. Now अगर कभी कहीं पे फायर लगी होती है, आग लगी होती है, so people spray one thing that is available in the red colored bottle. You might have seen that in shopping malls, right? So that fire extinguisher, it contains one gas which is called as carbon dioxide. Okay, then argon is the next gas which is present in air, and it is used in electric bulbs, the bulbs which we use at home na, that contain this argon. Then helium is used for obtaining low temperature and also for generating lift in airships. Okay, so helium you will use where, when you have to lower the temperature of something, that time you will use this helium. And neon, it is used in decorative lights and for street lighting. You might have seen street, जो road होता है उसके ऊपर जो lights लगे होते हैं, in that neon is used, and it is also used when we do decorations for Ganpati and other festivals, right? That time we use this decoratives light na, Diwali pe we use this decoratives light. So this lights, they contain neon. Okay, then krypton, it is used in fluorescent tubes, and xenon, it is used in flash photography. Okay, so these are some of the gases which are gases and how they are used in different sources. Now always remember, the living world on the earth is sustained. Why we can live on the earth? Because we have a balance between various gases and various constituent of the air. If the balance is not maintained, we won't be able to inhale, and what will happen? We will eventually die, right? So balance between these gases and constituents are very much important, and the atmosphere is a very important filter, because I told you a layer of air which surrounds the earth is called as atmosphere, right? So it is surrounding the air and it is protecting the air, so it is acting like a filter for us. Okay, then it allows the light and heat of the sun to reach the earth, which is necessary for life, because अगर sun नहीं आएगा एक दिन तो क्या होगा? We will not get light, है ना? तो जैसे रात में होता है पूरा अंधेरा हो जाता है, वैसे ही रहेगा पूरा टाइम. Plants will not be able to make their food because they need sunlight. We get vitamin D from food, from sun, right? So there are various important things, and we also need light and heat also we need from sun, so we will not get all this. So it is because of this atmosphere only we are getting the sun. Okay, but it prevents the harmful elements from reaching the earth. Now because of the atmosphere, harmful elements cannot directly enter into the earth. Okay, and it is in the atmosphere that fog, clouds, snow and rain are produced. Otherwise it would not have been possible to obtain rain also. Okay, so it is because of the atmosphere we can experience fogs, clouds, snow and rain. Okay, understood? Now see, just observe these three images and tell me what is the similarity between these three pictures. You can see smoke everywhere in all the three pictures, right? Now, did you burn firecrackers during Diwali? I am sure you might be burning. So you are contributing to air pollution, which is not good for our environment and for our earth. Okay, so just try to avoid burning the crackers. Okay, that way you can prevent yourself from doing air pollution. We can't go and tell industries don't do this. We can't tell people don't use car. We can't tell people don't do forest fire. But what we can do, we can stop ourselves from contributing to the air pollution, right? So we can do that. Now see, all the above pictures, they show large scale emission of smoke through different agencies, right? तीनों भी यहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट है, यहाँ पे कार से जो स्मोक आ रहा है वो है, यहाँ पे फैक्ट्रीज से जो स्मोक आ रहा है. सो दे आर एमिटिंग स्मोक एंड दिस आर द डिफरेंट सोर्सेज, डिफरेंट एजेंसीज विच आर एमिटिंग द सोर्स, राइट. So this smoke will directly mix with the atmosphere and they will disturb the balance which is between the constituents of the air. Okay, and as I told you, to sustain life on earth, it is very important to have a balance between this constituent of the air. But if we contribute to this air pollution, what will happen? The balance between them will get disturbed and what will happen? Our life will get disturbed, right? So इसको ही हम क्या बोलते हैं? The smoke that mixes with the atmosphere and that disturb the balance, it is called as air pollution. Okay. Now harmful gases, they are given out through combustion of fuel in vehicle. This is called as when the fuel burns, they emit out some harmful gases. जिसको हम बोलते हैं combustion of fuel. Okay. And it is a harmful gas for us. And big industries and also through incomplete combustion of fuel like wood and coal. Why the air pollution occurs? Because of the combustion of fuel, because of the big industries, and because of the incomplete combustion of fuel like wood and coal. Okay, so these are the reasons because of which air pollution occurs. And as a result, we are not stopping the industries from emitting this harmful pollution. We are not stopping we are not controlling the use of car. Even for small distance we are using car nowadays. It has been a trend, right? So we are contributing to air pollution, and henceforth we can conclude that the air pollution is increasing day by day, right? Now see, what are the harmful substances which are released in air through the combustion of fuel? Now how does combustion of fuel takes place? When the fuel burns, when we use our vehicles, that time this combustion of fuels take place and they emit nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide and soot. So these 5 harmful substances, they are released during the combustion of fuel and they are harmful for us as well as for the environment. Okay. Now ozone layer is one protective layer which protects the earth from this harmful gases. Okay, and ozone ka formula is O3 gas. We also call it as O3 gas. Oxygen is O2 gas and ozone gas is O3. Okay, so there is a layer of ozone gas in the lower part of the stratosphere. Stratosphere is a part of atmosphere, right? So stratosphere ke niche there will be a ozone gas ka layer which will be formed, and that is protecting this harmful rays from entering the surface of the earth. Okay, ozone gas is not directly useful for the survival of the living thing. Yet it is very important for living things to have this layer of ozone at high altitude around the earth. See, if you use the ozone gas, it is not directly useful to you, but it is important because it will prevent the entry of this harmful gases into the earth, right? So it is important. And the ultraviolet rays which are coming from the sun, they are harmful for living things, right? The sun ka rays, they directly come to the ground, but there is one layer which is called as this ozone layer. Okay, this ozone layer doesn't allow the sun to pass the UV rays, harmful ultraviolet rays, because if this ultraviolet rays come to our skin, what will happen? It can cause us cancer also. It is that dangerous to us, and this ozone layer, it protects us from this ultraviolet rays. Okay, the ozone gas absorbs this rays, and as a result life on the earth is protected. So I hope so you have understood the importance of this ozone layer. It is very much important for us. Okay. Now the ozone layer is destroyed if chemical gases like carbon tetrachloride or chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in air conditioners and refrigerators, mix with the air. See, now this ozone layer is very important for us, but every house has refrigerator and ACs, right? So every house is emitting some kind of this gases called as carbon tetrachloride and chlorofluorocarbon, and that is damaging this ozone layer. Now if the ozone layer is damaged, what will happen? Harmful UV rays will attack us, and we can get cancer also from those UV rays. Okay, so we should consume and we should use these things wisely. ACs and refrigerator, we should use it as and when required only. Okay, Now 16th of September is celebrated as Ozone Protection Day because we need to protect the ozone, right? And unless and until a day is not celebrated, people don't remember all these things, and that is the reason it is important to celebrate this day. So on 16th of December we celebrate the Ozone Protection Day all over the world to make everyone aware of the importance of ozone. Okay. See, in metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Pune, or Nagpur, boards are displayed at places of heavy traffic to show the proportion of the various constituents of the air at that place. So this is how it is shown at various places कि how much harmful gases or which harmful constituents और how the constituents of air are getting disturbed. जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा heavy traffic होता है वहाँ पे ये सारी चीज़ें दिखाई जाती है. Okay, and इस बोर्ड की वजह से we can see the amount of harmful elements which are present in the air. Okay, so it is a good initiative which is taken because people need to be aware how much air pollution they are contributing to and how they are affecting the environment. Okay, so I hope you have understood about air, which is called as atmosphere. So today we have studied about one of the sphere of the earth, which is atmosphere. Okay, now in the next lecture we will cover with water and land. So I hope you are clear with air. Okay, so thank you everyone.